Last year, they did it with limited to no attendance.
But this year, fans are back in the stands, and we want to see your enthusiasm.
So we're challenging you, the fans,
to buy a ticket to your school's next sporting event
and help the whole community persevere.
This is your team. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Skyline Suites Assisted Living offers high-value care with affordable rates and no hidden fees. You get to bring all your belongings with you, and we make the transition easy. Skyline Suites in Salem is unlike anything else and is truly your home away from home. From home-cooked meals, assistance with bathing, dressing, and medication management, Skyline Suites takes monthly trips, provides transportation, does your grocery shopping, and has a spa day on Fridays. To schedule your tour today, call me, Ryan, at 812-320-3761.
Wednesday, partly cloudy skies today with a high of 43. Winds light and bearable, a few clouds overnight. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Jackson County REMC Fiber.
This is Becky White from WSLM. I'm here at the beautiful John Jones showroom in Salem, Indiana for the John Jones Auto Minute.
Hello there, Jalen Hoare here at John Jones in Salem, Indiana. Winter is here, as well as a bunch of Chevrolet trucks. We've got incoming 21 and 22 model Silverados. Come check out our inventory at 1450 South State Road 60. Pick out the truck that works best for you and your family, or check out our inventory online at johnjonesautogroup.com. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out at 877-473-5546. And from Jalen Hoare over at John Jones, happy holidays.
At John Jones GM City, you see so many because they paid so little.
The Boilermakers are going bowling. Here we go.
O'Connell throws it over the middle. It passes caught. David Bell. Is he in? Yes, he is. Touchdown, Boilermakers.
Tune in Thursday, December 30th, as your Purdue Boilermakers take on Tennessee. Live from Nashville, Tennessee, this is the Music City Bowl. Coverage begins at 2, right here on the Boilermakers Sports Network. From Learfield.
Yesterday, here on Network Indiana Sports, we told you about the report from Shams Charania and Bob Kravitz from The Athletic that Herb Simon and the Indiana Pacers have officially signed off on eventually committing to a rebuild of the Blue and Gold. Now, when that may come, only the front office knows. However, the Pacers are in action tonight, 7 o'clock, versus the New York Knicks inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The Knicks are on a back-to-back, beat the Spurs in Texas last night, 121-109. Pacers won their last game over the Wizards. That was a 116-110 final. This was Rick Carlisle when he was asked about a potential rebuild.
I like this roster. These guys are wonderful people, damn good players. You know, we had some bad luck with a lot of different things. You know, now it's injuries and some other stuff.
It may be a bye week for the Indianapolis Colts, but news is still cycling around the horseshoe. Cornerback Kenny Moore has been nominated as the Colts representative for the NFL's Walter Payton Man of the Year Award. Let's take a listen.
I wasn't expecting that. I don't even know what to say. There's much more that I want to do in the community. But it feels good to have that kind of light for my own team, so in the organization. So.
It's a busy night of college hoops ahead. At 7 o'clock, the Indiana Hoosiers have their first road Big Ten game under Mike Woodson, playing number 22 Wisconsin. A couple minutes prior, it's Ball State and Xavier at 6:30 in Cincinnati. 7:30, Evansville squares off with Southeast Missouri State. And at 8 o'clock, Purdue-Fort Wayne battles SIUE. The number one Purdue Boilermakers in action tomorrow night at 7. They play the Rutgers Scarlet Knights in New Jersey. I'm Brendan.
What was old is dead at IRP. I'm Kyle Rickey. That story next on NASCAR Hot Pass.
Hey race fans, NASCAR Hall of Famer Rusty Wallace here from my friends at Blue Emu. After years of running up front and doing things at top speed, I still like to go fast.
Race fan, this is season 49 of Coach's Corner, and we're entering into the winter sports season, and we'll be highlighting basketball and wrestling. First started in 1972. We're proud to continue Coach's Corner on WSLM for our listeners to get to know the coaches, players, and staff of each local high school and get the X's and O's each from Eastern, Salem, and West Washington. Our host, Nate Pierce, will be talking with our coaches for tonight's program. Join us on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. for the Red Hot Stove League for the latest from the Cincinnati Reds, and stay around for Coach's Corner. You'll hear from IU and Purdue basketball coaches during the week here on WSLM as well. You're listening to us on WSLM 97.9 FM and WSLM 1220 AM, along with live streaming on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Be sure and follow us all season for a front row seat and a closer look at high school sports.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live, and I am here with Coach Chandler Pribble from Chandler Pribble. I'm sorry, I have a habit of botching names. He is the boys basketball coach down at East Washington. How you doing tonight, Coach?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Been a busy couple of weeks for me, but other than that, I'm doing all right. So, how's your boys program looking down there this year?
I think we're off to a good start. 2-1 right now. I know it's early. Things are looking good. We've still got a lot of things to focus on and get better, but so far it's been a good start the first month or so of the season.
Yeah. What kind of preparation goes into beforehand with basketball? I'm admittedly not a big basketball guy, so I don't know a whole lot about it, but I assume it's pretty close to anything else.
So are you talking like in the summer, in the fall? It really is.
What's your workout look like coming up in your off season, coming up to your regular season?
We do a lot of individual skill work. So for instance, with our big guy Jacob Cherry, he's doing a lot of different post moves, and then we try to pick an area that we want to expand his game. So we try to emphasize him doing stuff a little bit more on the perimeter and out of the high post. If we've got a guard like Cade Jones, we're doing a lot of different stuff with him getting shots off quicker when he comes off of screens, and we try to be specific to that individual as much as we can to try to get them to grow a little bit outside their comfort zone.
Right. So that is that time spent in a weight room, or do you work on a lot of cardio? How does that workout look?
So we've got we typically, you're allowed to do 2 hours 2 days a week with a basketball in your hand in the fall. So that means the other 3 days we're in the weight room. But those 2 days, it's all with a basketball. And then the closer we get to the season starting, that's whenever we get to where we do our strength conditioning, where it's just running for half hour to an hour depending on the day. And then we still have days included in there where we're in the gym, doing ball handling and shooting and the different fundamental type stuff.
Yeah, and those workouts are key to success whenever it comes to being able to run up and down that court. I'm sure for the period of time that you're there. What do you have setups like plays and things like that these kids have got to learn in the off season, or is that something that you input whenever they get there?
It just depends. Typically, it depends on how many guys we have in our workouts, because that fluctuates year to year. This year we had a handful of guys who were football guys, so we waited a little bit longer to put in some of our offense until the football season was over and our guys were back.
Yeah.
But last year, for instance, I didn't have a single football player.
Right.
So we had all of our offense and defense put in before the season even started. So once the season started, we had probably a little bit faster start than most people because we were able to get a jump on the sets that we wanted to put in.
Now, what kind of team are you? Are you a speed finesse kind of team, or you guys have good size, or how does that work?
Well, we've got good size. We're a longer team. I wouldn't say we're incredibly fast, but we try to push the tempo in transition. But so far we've done a really good job rebounding. That's kind of that's something that we struggled with last year that we've made an emphasis. And so far we've done a really good job being physical and rebounding well.
Right. And I like I said, I'm not a huge basketball fan. Not that I'm not a fan. I just don't spend that much time around basketball.
Yep.
But watching some of the games and stuff that I have watched, it seems like it's a very very tasking. You're constantly moving, whereas other sports you get a little downtime and this and that. Is that I'm sure that conditioning prepares them for that, but it's that is one sport that like I said, you're never stopping. And does that play a role in your roster and your rotation?
Yeah, absolutely. Ideally, everybody wants to play their best 5 players the entire game, but there's a certain point where they can't do everything that you need them to do. Because, like you were saying, within a possession, there's a lot of different stuff that you've got to be able to do. You're running all over the floor. You've got to be down in the stands. You've got to be able to make the right play. And once you get tired enough from doing that long enough, you need a sub. So yeah, that definitely plays into how we sub and our rotations and how long you can keep certain guys on the floor.
Yeah. Now, is that like football, where football you only got so many quarters that you can play a week, or how many minutes do you have to play, or is there a limitation to that in basketball?
Yeah, so you can play 5 quarters a night. So we've got a few guys that play 2 quarters JV and 3 quarters up with me on varsity, and then we've also got some that play 3 quarters JV and 2 quarters up with me on varsity. So you're allowed 5 quarters in one night, and you're allowed 88 quarters in the entire season. So we got to kind of pay attention to that and make sure we're managing that properly, because we want to make sure guys are getting to play their full 88 quarters. But we also, we want them to make sure they're playing in a place, whether that's JV or varsity, so that way they can find success.
Right. And you're always working those JV guys to take over, varsity for the next season, if that's, how it works out. And giving them as much time as you can works out, but at the same time, you still got to win games, and I understand that part of it too.
Yes.
What's your record on the season right now?
We are 2-1. Lost to I think who will be maybe the best team in the conference. We lost to Scottsburg.
Okay, yeah, I see that. It's 43-62.
Yes.
They Scottsburg isn't one that I've really ever stuck out in my mind as far as basketball goes. They've got a halfway decent wrestling team, and their football team is really coming on. But I didn't really know how well their basketball team was, but it sounds like they're doing pretty good. Now, you guys have been pretty decent contenders in the past years at Eastern, especially with your girls basketball team. What are your expectations? What are your goals for this season?
Well, we want to finish as high in the conference as we can, but for us, we are a smaller school in the conference. We kind of understand that if we can just compete in our conference, that usually means really good things for us going into our sectional, because typically the teams in our sectional at the 2A level don't play the type of teams that we see in our conference. So, I'd like to, it's going to be hard to win the conference at this point, but I'd like to finish, I don't know, second, third, fourth, somewhere in there in that region. I feel like that'd be good for our group. And then obviously we want to win the holiday tournament, and we want to win our sectional.
Now explain the holiday tournament to me. I don't really know what that is.
So, it's the Washington County tournament. We play Salem at Salem on December 17th. And before our game actually starts, West Washington plays Borden.
Okay.
And then the winners will play on the 18th. The losers will also play. They'll play at a 6 o'clock game on the 18th, but we'll play, the winners will play at the 7:30 game on December 18th.
Gotcha. And that's kind of same with football, and actually we have a county championship with wrestling too, and that always brings up that county rivalry that we so much enjoy. And got a little rough this year in football, and actually in a week or so we're going to have the wrestling county championship. So I bet that's one of those that always fills the stands. Of course, Washington County is kind of a basketball-oriented county, anyways, and I've never seen any time where they've had trouble filling those stands. But do you feel like it's more so, it's more of a packed house during that holiday tournament?
Well, last year I think we had restricted fans, baby. So, we were only allowed like two fans per player. So I've not got to experience that because last year was my first year.
Okay.
So now this year I know we played West Washington and we played Borden. Two of the 4 teams in that tournament, and both games have been really good crowds. So I'm looking forward to the tournament.
Yeah, COVID really shot everybody in the foot last year. Wrestling was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, there was such restrictions on that. Of course, those kids are touching each other the entire time down there. So I'll be glad when we don't have to worry about those days.
Yes, yeah, I'm hoping that that's a little bit behind us.
Yeah. Well, and last year was first year that I wasn't an assistant wrestling coach up here, so I was glad that I didn't have to deal with it. I'm glad to pass that headache on to somebody else. But
yeah,
I'm really excited to. I've been kind of making myself learn basketball a little bit and kind of learning some things, so I'm really excited to delve into something new. And that was kind of the purpose of bringing the winter sports on to Coach's Corners. We wanted to get as much exposure to them as we did with football, and girls basketball, boys basketball, and wrestling. Those are the things that we're trying to promote, and every little bit helps to get people in the seats, and that gives you guys more of a fan base, and hopefully down the road. That brings more people, more kids in, wanting to play. Do you guys have a youth program that you're developing down there?
Yeah, we do a lot of different things with our youth. We have camps that are just a week long. We also have we've got a league that we do in the fall that they've got 9 different sessions over the course of a month. And then we have some AAU teams that are third and fourth grade play on those AAU teams, and we've got 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade middle school program as well. So we've got a lot going on with our youth kids and a lot of opportunities for kids to be a part of something.
Now you say this is your second year down there?
Yes.
Where were you at before?
This is my first head coaching job. I'm actually from Northeast Indiana, so the school I was at before was Central Noble, who's actually they're ranked number 1 in 2A right now. They've got a very good program up there. But before that, I was at Bluffton.
Okay, so you had several years of experience, and taking over that head coaching spot is always a daunting task. How well are you handling that? And are there, if you had a wish list of things that you needed to succeed, what would that be?
Well, year 2 is definitely better than year 1.
Especially
nice
since it's less COVID-y.
Yes, well, that too. But it's nice to have things in place, and all the players know my expectations. My assistants know the stuff that we're going to do, so that they are more prepared and feel more comfortable coaching those different ideas. I think having great assistants and having great managers, that would be on my wish list.
Yeah.
Like right now, I was just bragging to our assistant coaches just the other day about how good our managers are. We've got some great managers. They take care of so many little things that we had to focus on last year, and it's really nice that they handle all the water, they handle all the camera stuff, they handle all the laundry, and it's really nice that they can do that for us. It makes our lives a lot easier.
So it sounds like your wish list is pretty well fulfilled. You've got what you wanted there, and it sounds like you're surrounded by the right kind of the right kind of people and the right I don't know the word that I'm looking for. You've got the right people in the right places.
Absolutely, yeah. I think we're in a very fortunate spot. I'm in a very fortunate spot to be where I'm at. Eastern has struggled. I think the few years before I was there, and I think I'm just getting here at the right time where the pieces are all kind of falling together, and I'm very fortunate for that.
And it's always good to have a situation like that because you can mold it to what you want. Coming in and having a program that is kind of solidified and stuck in the mud, so to speak. I know that can always be hard on a coach coming in, but being able to do what you want and do it your way, and not have people in your ear telling you that it's got to go this way or that way. That's always a plus too. And have you found that it's been that your players have been pliable?
Oh, absolutely. That's the first thing I noticed when I got down here is how coachable they are. They were very hungry to win. So, it didn't matter what I told them; they were buying into it instantly, which again is a coach's dream.
Yes.
So, and also it helps that our administration and our athletic director do a really good job of giving me the freedom to do what I feel like I need to do, so I can get the job done.
Right. And like I said, basketball has always been a real big thing here in Washington County, especially out east. You guys haven't had a football program that long, so some of the well, I say that, but it's been, how long has it been, Greg? 15, 16 years now?
13 to 15 years, somewhere around
Something
there.
like that, yeah. And it feels like a very short period of time.
Yep.
But given that that's that has always been a basketball school, it's good that they've got a guy that can come in there and have those kids be open and take over like that, and prepare and be ready to go. If tomorrow you were given the opportunity to take a step back and set this team up differently, is there anything that you would change from last year to this year?
I think the only thing I might have changed is just the amount that we're in the weight room. We're in the weight room 45 minutes every day in the summer. But I think that I'd even take it a step further and get in there even more. You look at teams like Brownstown, and even Scottsburg. They've got a lot of big, strong kids, and we've got maybe one. So we've got to get to where our physicality, with our body stature, not just how hard we're playing, but
Right.
the way we actually look is bigger. So that would be the one thing I would change.
Gotcha. Whenever with the holiday season coming up and things like that, do you have any issues with kids getting to practice versus holiday events and things like that, or do you guys try to schedule around that as best you can?
Well, we were able to give them a few days off around Thanksgiving, and we get 3 or 4 days off around Christmas, and I think another couple days off around the New Year. So our schedule is actually very cooperative. But if kids miss something for a holiday, like a family holiday thing, that's not something that's ever an issue. That always comes first. We preach the family thing first, and I'm talking to you while I was just feeding my daughter. So we're all about that. And my wife and daughter they're around all the time. So that stuff is very important. So we're very flexible with kids who miss for things like that.
Yeah, and that's something I always like to hear, is that with our youth program, our youth football program, I've coached it for 10 years, and that's one thing that we always tell the kids. Once you played for us, you're part of our football family, and family comes first no matter what. So it's good and heartwarming to hear you say that. And there are coaches that are I've seen practices on Thanksgiving. It's not unheard of, and it's good to be able to give your kids that time, especially since your season had just started. You guys probably had your first game just a few days before Thanksgiving, didn't you?
Yes. Yep. 2 days before Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And so to be able to get started and then be like, okay, we're going to take a couple days off, especially after, a win. And then, you kind of want to build on that, and you got to take a couple days to do other things. Yeah. It can kind of get frustrating, but it's good that you do that and, keep everybody happy, and then get back in there and get right back after it.
Yeah. Whenever I was first getting into coaching, I asked I asked the head coach, I said, is there a rule against like practicing on Thanksgiving or a holiday or something like that? And he said, no, but I'd like to stay married.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, you don't want nobody's grandma coming in there and whooping you. Yeah, those Thanksgiving dinners can be important. With the holiday, with Christmas coming up, when does your season end? Is it after that or before?
Oh yeah. We go all the way through, ideally to the end of March, and that would be the state championship. But very few teams get that opportunity.
Yeah.
But yeah, our season goes all the way through. We play, I don't know, it might be like 5 games over Christmas break.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on. During that downtime, there's a lot of opportunities to come watch. We played 2 games alone at home on December 28th.
Oh wow. How many home games do you guys have this year?
I don't know. Now, I know we played 22 regular season games. Roughly, it's typically about half. This year, it's probably 9 to 11, somewhere in there.
Yeah. How many games will you play a week normally?
It's usually 2 a week on average.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's 1, sometimes there's 3, but typically it's 2.
Gotcha. And sometimes you do a double header, don't you?
If anything, it's a Friday, Saturday. It's not a 2 games in 1 day situation.
I got you.
At the 28th, we're doing that just to treat it like a regional type of day.
Right. And then, of course, you're going to play a JV game beforehand, and then your varsity, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you're teaching me a lot that that I didn't know. So, one of the things that I'm kind of trying to push for, like I said, is to get the focus more on some of these winter sports, and having you guys come on the radio and help us out with that. And, that helps us have a show, and it also helps you guys get the word out about your team. And is there anything special that you would want to tell about your team?
Oh man.
Give me a standout, or a funny practice story or something.
Funny practice story.
Not one that locker room only kind of story though.
Well, we've got a couple. Well, one of them. So we have this practice. It's called Midnight Madness. So all the players really enjoy it, but it's something where we practice after school. Then we watch we'll go out to eat somewhere. We come back and watch the girls play a home game. Then we go back to my classroom and they'll play some video games and whatnot. And then we'll go back to practice that night. And we practice for 2 or 3 hours. And I think we got done at like 1 in that night. And then they have another practice at like 9 o'clock in the morning. So it's a really long night.
Right.
But no, we went back to the classroom and I can't even remember who it was now. I think it might have been, I can't remember which player it was now. But we were playing UFC and I had absolutely no idea how to play UFC on the Xbox. But I knocked one of them out. They all went crazy.
That's. My thumbs don't work for all those buttons. Whenever I played video games, it was a little directional pad and an A/B button. they got a little too advanced for me.
Yeah.
So what do you teach at the school?
Geometry.
Geometry. Wow. You got it. That's not one of my strong suits either. But I do use a little bit of it because I'm a machinist during the day, so I use a little bit of it. But it's good to have most of your coaches are PE teachers or something like that. So it's nice to have somebody that's the academic side of it, because that's as important as your athleticism whenever it comes to your athletes.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. We do a lot to focus on their academics. I'm checking our kids' grades all the time, but yeah, there's a good and bad to being a math teacher. Good news is there's job security. Everybody needs one.
That's right.
I'll never be able to get that PE job because I've got my math license and everybody wants a math teacher.
That's right. Well, we've got this PE opening, but we could use you more over here. I could see that happening. Now, whenever I was playing football in Florida, we had an hour study hall before practice ever started. Is that something that you guys do, or do you guys like to have a study group, or to help kind of tutor each other, or how's that work?
No, I check their grades. I make sure that they're passing all their classes. They don't have any missing assignments. If they do, then I make them run for it.
Right.
And if it becomes something that's too much of an issue, then I make them come down during our homeroom period, which is like our kind of like a study hall a little bit, where they can come down and work on their homework and whatnot, get stuff done. So I have them come see me during that time, and then I'll help them get it all figured out and make sure they're communicating with their teachers.
Very good, very good. Just staying on top of that. My kid right now is he's a senior wrestling up here at Salem, and he's parked right now because of grades. And it was one of those things that we should have been a little more on top of him. But he, at the end of the day, it was his responsibility, and he knew what he was doing. So he's going to ride the bench until January.
Yep, and that's what we're trying to avoid, but also it makes it a lot harder now with all the COVID stuff, because when a kid gets quarantined, it is very difficult to stay on top of your stuff for those 2 weeks that you're out, because you don't get to ask the teacher questions as often, and it makes it that much tougher.
Yeah, and my son's he's enlisted in the Army, so whenever he leaves school, that's what his focus is going to be. But
that's cool.
He wanted to, his senior year, he wanted to make the most of what he could do on that wrestling mat, and now he's going to have to do it in a shorter period of time. So, staying on top of those kids and their grades is absolutely important, and knowing the importance and where to draw the line between coach and teacher. I think you've probably, because of your teaching degree there, you probably know that more than anybody, that those kids, they have to, just as much as they want to play ball, they need to do their geometry.
Well, and I'm in a very lucky situation, because I can hold their playing time over their head. I can make them run instead of play basketball, and that's something where, when you start taking away the ability for them to play basketball, then they start doing what you're wanting them to do, because obviously they signed up to play with a basketball in their hand and not to run laps.
That's right. And nobody likes to do that extra duty.
Oh, no. And that's the reason why you do it.
Yeah.
Get your schoolwork done or not. And
knuckle down and do your work, and then, worry about the other stuff afterwards.
Yes.
It's great to see all the kids get all their playing time and this and that, and to see the athletes that they develop into. You probably know as well as I do that watching a kid come in that maybe wasn't the greatest of athletes in his freshman year, but something clicks in that kid, and you start developing, start working, and that kid becomes a key player by the time he's a junior or senior. Those kind of stories are what the name of the game is. Watching those kids develop and become the best athlete they can, and become the best student they can, and be well-rounded, and getting them prepared for the life lessons. What's coming next after school. So that's something that, as a teacher and a coach, you got big shoes to fill, but the community applauds you guys for stepping in and taking on that role.
Yeah. Well, thank you, and that's what we signed up for. That's like exactly what you're saying. I think one of the proudest things that I am right now is a kid who struggled with grades last year that we had to talk to a lot about it, and now he has all of his grades are A's or B's or whatever, but they're all very high grades. He communicates with me well about his grades, and he communicates well with his teachers about getting his stuff turned in and whatnot. So that's one of the proudest things that I am right now of anyone in our program.
Yeah, and they've taken great strides to make it to where, back in the day, it wasn't much to get a teacher to kind of, just fudge a little bit so that kid, could play ball. But now they're held to a pretty strict accountability, and making sure that because you don't do anybody any favors by pushing, letting them slide through. So that personal accountability is something that I find to be very, very necessary.
I completely agree with you.
If a kid is, if he isn't made accountable for his actions, he's not learning any lessons. And then it gets to be, well, it's just sports. Well, I'm a big proponent of, it's not just sports. We're preparing these kids with life lessons, with team building and lessons, and getting them prepared for the next step. Do you see, do you have those moments where you can see an example of how what you're teaching that kid right now is going to help him after school, after basketball?
Yeah, I mean, our program motto is more than winning. So we like to talk about the ideas of becoming a great husband or father or whatever that next step is. We talk a lot about that, and we talk about the right way to do certain things. Even little stuff like when a referee hands one of our players the ball, we teach them that they're going to say thank you, sir, or thank you, ma'am. Even in little stuff like that. So we get very detailed about how our players for home and away games, we have them dress up in khaki pants, a dress shirt, and a tie for every game. So that way they understand, how to dress business-like and little things like that. So we try to teach those moments as often as we can.
I like it, Coach. I like it a lot. You're building respectable young men down there is what it sounds like to me. Well, I think that's going to be all the time we've got tonight. I look forward to having you back on this show, and I appreciate your time tonight. And, good luck this season.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate being on here.
All right, Coach. I'll talk to you next time.
All righty. Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know that was a long one. We're going to take a few commercial breaks here, and we'll be right back.
Big one is back. The Shakaroni Pizza is back at Papa John's for a limited time. This extra large pizza with big foldable slices is packed with extra cheese and extra pepperoni, and it's just $13. Plus, for each Shakaroni sold until October 21st, Papa John's will donate $1 to the Papa John's Foundation, benefiting local and national charities. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. And we're still looking for drivers and insiders. Apply today at papajobs.us.
Caring people make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Salem Crossing. Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers and solutions and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Salem Crossing, visit ASCSSeniorCare.com or call 812-883-1877. That's 812-883-1877.
Whenever the forecast is nice, you're probably thinking about enjoying the great outdoors. Whether that means doing some four-wheeling or hitting the road in an RV, First Harrison Bank can help make your dreams a reality with a loan designed to meet your needs. Talk with one of our associates about our options for RV, boat, and camper financing. If you're looking for a great auto loan, we can help with that too. To get started, just visit us at firstharrison.com. Keep it easy, keep it local. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Things change. Insurance should too. Jason can help to see if you're covered for life's constant changes. Call Jason Petmeyer, your Washington County agent, at 812-883-2995 or visit infarmbureau.com.
If you're searching for a career, GKN can provide an opportunity for you. GKN Powder Metal in Salem, Indiana is your full metal shapes solutions provider. GKN is currently recruiting for CNC operators for 12-shift schedules, which is 3 days 1 week and 4 days the following week. You may apply in person Monday through Friday from 9 to 3. Starting wage is $18.45 up to $24.75 based on experience, plus 60 cents for shift premium for night shift and a full range of competitive benefits.
competitive wages, and medical, dental, and vision insurance. Life insurance optional. Free short, long-term disability. Free life accident insurance, plus 401k savings plans with company match. Shaping powder metal into high performance and high precision components. GKN provides leading powder metal expertise and process experience to transform ideas into production. GKN is an equal opportunity employer.
Keep playing. Keep working. Keep going. And keep moving with the unmatched orthopedic care at Baptist Health. With a best-in-class team and procedures you won't find anywhere else in the region. It's no wonder most people choose Baptist to help them keep on keeping on. Visit baptisthealth.com/ortho to find a Baptist Health provider.
At Meadowview Health and Rehabilitation, we offer hope in the form of our Moving Forward short-term rehabilitation to home program. With a full range of therapy programs, the goal of Moving Forward Rehabilitation is to help people return home safely with the skills they need to live life on their own terms. Call us and ask us about your Medicare replacement policy or managed insurance policy and what your benefits are. We are here to help. For more information about Meadowview, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681.
See Celebrity Home Loans in Salem, where everyone gets treated like a star. Come experience the star treatment with us. You'll never go back to the ordinary home loan experience again. Stop in today and see Dennis Baxter, branch manager of the Salem office, to start working on a new home loan or refinancing today. They serve nearly 50,000 families with over $15 billion in loans. Stop in and see Dennis and his staff. They're ready to work with you today. As a star, you expect the best, and that's all Celebrity Home Loans has to offer. Nothing off the rack. We're talking fine living, designer fashion home loans around here. Come by today and see Dennis or Autumn at 18 Public Square, Suite A, or call for an appointment. 812-883-0670. Remember, at Celebrity Home Loans, you're the star.
Wouldn't it be great to find a dealer that puts their customer satisfaction over their profits? Well, you have. Betty Gilstrap Motors in Salem, Indiana has been your hometown Ford dealership for over 80 years. No hassle, no pressure, and ranked in the top 6% nationwide for customer service. Specializing in Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, Betty Gilstrap Motors is your one-stop shop for your sales, service, and auto body repair needs. Visit us today at EddieGilstrapMotors.com or come see us at 207 South Main Street, downtown Salem, Indiana. Stevie Motzinger here with Eddie Gilstrap Motors, cheering on our black and gold. Go Lions.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Unfortunately, we only had the one coach to interview tonight. I'm glad that he was a good interview, and we were able to do a good half hour with him. Seems like he's a good guy, and I look forward to speaking to him much more often now. So I think we'll go on to our nightly inspirational quote, and then we'll be joining the IU basketball game that is in progress. And the score is 36-17, IU up over Wisconsin right now. What period are we in there? In the first period. All right, so tonight's inspiration is this. A lot of people say they want to be great, but they're not willing to make the sacrifices necessary to achieve greatness. That is brought to you by Kobe Bryant, the late Kobe Bryant. And that says a lot, because if you're in anything that you do, if you're not willing to go that extra mile to succeed, whether it be at work, in school, in sports, anything, business, you're not going to get the same results as somebody that is that driven. So my challenge to you is every day, set a goal and try to blow past that goal. Try to reach the other side of that goal. It's just like I've taught my football kids whenever you're tackling. Don't tackle the kid that's in front of you. Tackle the kid that's behind you. That puts you beyond your goal, and that way, you're going to meet your goal and exceed your goal. I'm a big proponent of if you're going to do something, do it right, do it to the fullest, or just stay home. There's no sense in halfway doing anything. It doesn't get anything done, and it just causes problems for the next person. Like it says, a lot of people say they want to be great, but they're not willing to make those sacrifices. So every day, set yourself a goal. I want to achieve this, and then achieve that. And if you got it, keep going, keep working, stay after it. I've here recently been personally challenging myself. We just bought a new house, and I've got a little homestead going, and I've got all kinds of animals and stuff. But I work a full-time job, and I'm trying to put the house together to suit the family to the new house. At the same time, I'm working on the old house, trying to get it sold and things like that. So I've pushed myself every day to accomplish something. And if I get that done, and I've still got the energy and I still got the time, I move on to the next. So it's a matter of personal drive, what you want to do, what you want to achieve, and how important is it? Is it important enough for you to put that extra time in, put those extra hours in, do that extra hard work? Right now is the time to do the hard stuff. Whenever it becomes an issue, whenever something comes up that's gone wrong at the house, right now is the time to, it's too late. Then you're in a reactive position. Stay after it, build up to your goals, make sure that you're keeping everything in line, and that's the only way you're going to achieve anything. The only way you're going to achieve greatness. So make those sacrifices now. Stay after you keep your eye on the prize, and be a good human being to everybody that you meet. It's the holiday season, and things are hectic, and it's getting cold, and nobody knows how to drive when there's a half inch of snow on the ground apparently. But be nice to those people too. So I guess that's all I've got for you tonight. God bless everybody, and I hope to have you guys back here next week, and we'll. I think we're going to have some wrestling coaches on next week. We may have a little bit of a mixture of both, but we should have Coach Andy McCoskey back at least, and I'm going to try to get a hold of Dennis Tankersley. And like I said, you guys have a blessed night.
The WSLM 97.9 FM and 1220 AM next week for Coach's Corner, live brought to you in part by Salem McDonald's, to get a front row seat into local high school sports with your coaches from Eastern, Salem, and West Washington. Your host, Nate Pierce, will be back next week with more from the Eastern, Salem, and West Washington sport.
Do you think weed should be legal here in the Hoosier State? I'm Ron Connick. You're listening to Network Indiana. Governor Eric Holcomb is against legalizing marijuana, but he tells Indy Politics he's willing to listen to the science and medical experts on recreational marijuana.
So we got to know scientifically what the benefits are and the ripple effect and the whole policy comes with it.
Holcomb says he also doesn't feel comfortable legalizing marijuana because it's still illegal at the federal level. Murder charges have been filed against a man from Thorntown. Officers say it was Chad Grimble who killed Grace Bishop, Brandon Martin, and Larry Stockstill Jr. back on September 8th. They say they found DNA on cigarettes that Grimble had been using at the crime scene. Grimble was served with an arrest warrant on Wednesday morning at the Boone County Jail. He's been in the Boone County Jail since October on separate criminal charges. A man's in the hospital after being shot in Carmel early this morning. The man was at the Anytime Fitness on Main Street and First Avenue Northwest just after 4 a.m. when he was shot in the leg. He was taken to the hospital, but his injuries are not life-threatening. Carmel police say 25-year-old Moses Shoega was walking near the fitness center and randomly shot into the building. He was found in the area shortly after and was arrested. He's charged with criminal recklessness and carrying a handgun without a license. Someone is snooping in mailboxes in Fort Wayne. Ashley Fowler has that story.
Security cameras caught the driver of a blue and
To Xavier. X takes it to the left side, pulls up for another jumper. This one's